Hello, grade 10 students. Let's get prepared for our listening lesson today. I need you all to prepare your student books, page 127. Let's get started. The objectives of the day are: identify the meaning of two given words after listening to a documentary, elicit answers of 4 multiple choice questions through listening to an audio, and finally, form full answers to 2 CR questions using information from the audio. Shall we begin? Before we begin our lesson, can you tell what these places are called? Pause the video for a couple of minutes and think of a name for these places. I'm pretty sure that you have definitely visited one of them here in Qatar. Did you guess? Yes, it is sand dunes. Usually we have sand dunes here in Sea Line, well done, and in many other areas in Qatar. Let's look at exercise A, page 127. We have 3 questions that we will try to answer one by one, beginning with the first question. What do you know about sand dune bashing? I need you to pause the video for a couple of minutes and try to look up for information about it. Let's check the sample answer. Sand dune bashing is an activity which involves driving up and down sand dunes at different speeds. Any related answer to this is correct. Now let's move on to the next question. What do you think of this activity? You are required to give your personal opinion, so pause and write down your opinion. Let's check the answer together. We may say, I think it's a rather difficult activity, and you need to be quite adventurous to try it. Any related answer to this is correct. Now finally, have you ever tried or seen sand dune bashing? We have seen, perhaps on TV or live, so pause and give your thoughts. Let's check the sample answer. We may say, I have seen sand dune bashing many times, but I have never tried it myself. Let's look at exercise B, page 127. Listen to 2 extracts taken from a documentary about sand dune bashing. What do the following words mean? Dune and rollover. So you will listen and you will try to choose the correct answer from the audio.
Listening. B. Listen to 2 extracts taken from a documentary about sand dune bashing. What do the following words mean? 1.
Sand dune bashing involves racing cars up and down the steep sand dunes. The dunes rise and fall quite suddenly, so it's much like riding a roller coaster, but with a bit more adventure.
2.
Do not ever just turn around on a dune, because it is highly likely that your car will roll over and you will end up upside down.
Now let's look at the words one by one, starting with dune. Does it mean hill or plain? Pause and make a choice. And the answer is hill. Well done, everyone. Let's look at the extract. Where does it imply that this is a hill? Cars will go up and down the steep sand dunes. So, hill is a place where cars will go up and down. Let's look at the second term we have. Roll over. Does it mean to crash or to overturn? Pause the video and make a choice. And the answer is overturn. Well done, everyone. Now let's look at the extract where we were able to understand the meaning of the word. As you can see here, when they say your car will roll over and you will end up upside down. Your car will roll over, so it will overturn. Let's move on to exercise C, page 127. You have 4 questions and you will listen to a documentary. So make sure that you read the questions, read the options, make sure that you highlight any unknown words, and prepare your notebooks to take any notes while you are listening. Let's get started.
C. Listen to the documentary and answer the questions.
The spectacular sand dunes of the Qatari desert are perfect for anyone looking for an intense adrenaline rush. Every weekend, thousands of people head there to enjoy the thrill and excitement they get from their favorite free time activity, sand dune bashing. Sand dune bashing involves racing cars up and down the steep sand dunes. The dunes rise and fall quite suddenly, so it's much like riding a roller coaster, but with a bit more adventure. The sand shifts, so the car can slip and slide easily, which means drivers really need to know what they are doing before they decide to tackle these dunes. Experienced drivers know exactly what is necessary to drive safely over sand. However, for the rest of us, there are some important safety concerns which we must keep in mind. You can't use just any car. You need a car with a powerful engine that is high enough to be easily driven over the sand. If the engine isn't strong enough to get the car to the top of the dune, you could find yourself falling back down. The tires also have to be wide enough so as to avoid sinking in the sand. Having the right car isn't the only thing you need. Driving over the soft sand can be tricky. Drivers must learn the necessary skills not only to avoid getting stuck or rolling over, but also to know how to get unstuck if they do get stuck. Inexperienced drivers are probably better off booking a desert safari with a tour operator who specializes in sand dune bashing, or taking lessons and using smaller dunes where they can practice and improve their skills without much risk. One thing that a driver must always remember to do is to keep the steering wheel moving. You must follow the shape of the dune. If you try to keep the car going straight, it will quickly sink in the sand, lose its speed, and roll over. Do not ever just turn around on a dune, because it is highly likely that your car will roll over and you will end up upside down. Accidents are common because drivers forget to follow these rules, so always take care. Whether you decide to leave the driving to an expert or do the driving yourself, you are sure to have an amazing experience.
Now let's look at question 1. Sand dune bashing is suitable for people who are adventurous, whose cars can slide easily, who do not like riding roller coasters, and who have lots of free time during the weekend. Pause the video, look at your notes, and make a choice. And the answer is A, who are adventurous. Well done, everyone. Now, let's look at the extract where we can find the answer. As you can see here, Qatari desert are perfect for anyone looking for an intense adrenaline rush. Every weekend, thousands of people, and so on. So, they're looking for an exciting time. Moving on to question 2. Let's look at the question together. A car used for sand dune bashing must have wide tires. A, so that the car can get to the top, or so that the car can sink in the sand, or so that the car stays on top of the sand, or so that the car doesn't fall back down the dune. Pause, look at your notes, and make a choice. And the answer is C, so that the car stays on top of the sand. Well done. Let's look at the extract where we can find the answer. As you can see right over here, you could find yourself falling back down. The tires also have to be wide enough so as to avoid sinking in the sand. So you need to stay on top of the sand, not sink in it. Question 3. Inexperienced drivers should. What do we mean by inexperienced drivers who do not have any experience? They should avoid going on a desert safari, or only learn how to avoid getting stuck, learn how to roll the car over in the sand, or develop their driving techniques before driving on higher dunes. Pause, read your notes, and make a choice. And the answer is, well done, it is D. They need to develop their driving techniques before driving on higher dunes. Let's check the extract where we can find the answer. As you can see right over here, they can practice and improve their skills without much risk. Question 4. Turning your car around suddenly on a dune will cause you to roll over, lose speed, fall back down, or sink in the sand. Pause, read your notes, and make a choice. And the answer is roll over. Well done, everyone. Now let's take a look on the extract where we can find the answer. As you can see here, it is highly likely that your car will roll over. So they are warning you, do not ever just turn around because the car will roll over. Moving on to exercise D. You have 2 questions that we will try to answer one by one, beginning with the first question. What do you think is the greatest danger inexperienced drivers will have to face during sand dune bashing? Pause and try to form a full sentence answering this question. Let's check your answers. We can say, I think that the greatest danger inexperienced drivers will have to face during sand dune bashing is that the car might roll over. So you actually can use any information that you understood from the extracts previously. Let's look at the second question. What other extreme sports do you enjoy doing and why? Pause and write down anything that you have experienced before. Let's look at the sample answer. We may say, I've tried ziplining and I loved it. This is called ziplining. This is it for the day. Thank you.